Though last week the adventure was really obnoxious and I failed it twice, so I had to go through the same adventure 3 times. But I don't think that's gonna happen again. Um, but I realize most people are here for Harvest Moon, so yeah. I hope you feel better and get some rest on your throat and everything. Um, oh, going soon. I was about to give you a whole good night spiel, so I'll save it, tuck it away, because I can only muster so many of these things. I'm just kidding. But, I see Dia out, and I'm about to go up that way, so I'm gonna see if I can find her a coral. And I can. But, man, Unlimited Saga, I'm excited. I feel like I'm really getting to the good parts now, and then the story will probably not continue next time. But we're gonna get to, like, I'm gonna be doing some of the really interesting missions. At least I think. I think the one that I failed and kept redoing last time was really interesting. I really liked that one. And part of what was interesting about it is that it was so difficult. Um, and I didn't really mind having to do it 3 times over. It's kind of short, so it's no big deal. But it did take the whole stream to do it 3 times. Uh, they start around 8. There's not really a set time. Depending, sometimes I even start them as early as like 7:30, but they usually start probably around 8:30 is like the most common starting time, I guess I would say. Um, oh, I just put him up and I gotta go deliver this mushroom and I'm all out of it. I hope Terry's over here. But yeah, around 8:30 I would say is probably the most common starting time. I try to start them at 8, but I don't ever most of the time. Um, because I'm here at my dad's house, he's like getting ready for work at this time because he works at night, and so I want to wait until he's like gone, so he's not like clanging around and I'm like talking and he's like in the next room or whatever, and just in case he needs to ask me something or whatever. So um, it's like whatever. But yeah, I'd say 8:15 is not a bad time if I'm really on top of it. I really could have done it at 8:15 today. I think it was closer to 8:30. I just didn't do it at that time. Um, because I was just kind of being like lazy. I made some tea and I post about it online and stuff, and then sometimes I get distracted because I'll go to post it on Facebook and then I'll see some posts and then I'll start reading it and stuff like that. And I don't try to make a strict time. I think 8:30 is probably fine. Usually not much happens right in the beginning anyway. It usually takes a little while before there's like people here. Like we got most of the people, I'd say probably around like 9:30. I don't know. I'm not keeping too much track of it. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the horse race. No, I don't think I'm gonna make it to the horse race tonight. But horse race will be next week then, probably. I'm not stopping now, though, unless you guys want me to stop now. But maybe soon. It's really warm in here. I'm still mad at Dan for saying that stupid thing every day. Did I buy the big kitchen? I remember I was thinking about it. I don't use Google Plus. I have a Google Plus account because I think I had to get one because of YouTube, but I don't use it. If you subscribe to the channel on Twitch, it will send a notification to you through your email that you use to sign up for Twitch. I'm pretty sure. Like, as soon as I go online, it'll send it to you. And I also I do post it on Facebook, and I post it on Twitter, and I post it on Tumblr. So, if you're like watching those things, then you could See it there? At least all of the people I subscribe to on Twitch, I do get an email about it. And my phone actually broke. I'm not sure what's wrong with it, but it like totally bricked. So that's why I haven't been picking up my phone and checking texts. And it's also not orange because I took the case off. But I don't know. It just does not work. So yeah, I always tag Harvest Moon on Twitter. I usually tag it on Tumblr. I usually forget to even post it to Tumblr. So if you like get notifications or whatever for the Harvest Moon tag on Twitter, you'll get it. I try to tag Harvest Moon and Magical Melody. Alright. So I hope you feel better. And I'm looking at the names again. I'm pointing to the names that's my eye contact. Yeah. Rest well. Feel better. Get a soothed throat. And I hope to see you soon. And have a good night. And thank you for coming. It was really fun talking to you. I always feel like I'm in good company here with you peeps. Oh, my flowers finally died. I knew it was gonna happen soon. See ya, Peachan. Peachan is the name. It's very cool. I'm excited about Unlimited Saga. Sometimes I almost like... I don't know Frozen or Shrek or any of these things. Can you pick these up and toss them? Yeah, I think you can give them to the chickens too. Oh, I almost lost that in the street. Oh, I didn't know you had to set it up like that. I must have just done it a long time ago because I always get the emails. Ooh, tomorrow's gonna be my shearing day. See, this is why you're a Twitch expert, Nime. I'm sorry, I feel pretty tired. I did not sleep well last time. Well, I slept fine, but I slept for a short time because I stayed up late, and then I forgot. My brother was going to laundromat in the morning, and I was going to give him things to take. I forgot to get the things out, so he woke me up to ask me where they were, because I just wanted like a couple things washed, and I didn't really feel like going to the laundromat myself to wash like 2 items when he could throw them in with his stuff. It was 3 items, but so he woke me up, and then I was awake, and you know, it was my fault for not laying the stuff out. I said I was going to, and then I didn't. I got really caught up in catching up with Downton Abbey so that I can watch the 9th episode on Sunday. I got a gold thing! And then just totally forgot to do anything and stayed up really late. 5 a.m. That's intense. And sleeping in until 8 a.m. That's... how sad. I think that was Moostine today giving the gold milk. It's cool that I'm getting gold milks like almost every day now. I've only been out since 9 a.m., but I went to bed at like 6 a.m., so like I've been up for a long time. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying. I didn't sleep as much as I would have preferred. I'm really not much of a watcher of things. Like, I don't like to watch movie. I don't like to watch TV show. I don't even really like to watch that many videos online or whatever. I just like, I guess, more active entertainment or something. I don't read much either. Though, I'd say I read and watch stuff about the same amount, maybe. But, it's hard for me to get into watching something, especially like TV series or something, because it feels like such a commitment. Once I'm actually watching it, I'm usually fine, but like convincing myself to actually sit down and start watching it is pretty hard. Yeah, I don't ever watch TV. Like, I'm specifically watching Downton Abbey because my fiance and I used to watch it together, and then that kind of stopped because watching things is... But, yeah, I'm pretty much not into TV at all. But there are some shows, yeah, like pretty much what CC is saying. But I tend to wait until I can watch it all at once later. I'd much rather marathon something than, like, try to, like, keep up on watching it as it comes out or whatever. And, I'd rather wait for, like, a DVD or something like that. And, yeah, I'm still trying to watch The Legend of Korra. No, I didn't even finish Book 2. I have one episode left, and then I'll finish Book 2. Like, I don't know, it's hard to get into watching stuff. I've been trying to watch Star Trek pretty much forever, and I'm still in the second season. He's actually was my fiance before that as well. I just didn't refer to him as such. But, I think I kind of jump around names with him, like how I refer to him, but he has his fiance. I do have the thing. Ta-da. This is my proof. I do have ring, so it's officially thing, but yeah, I use other people's Netflix. Well, this is my fiance has Netflix too. I don't think I would use it if it wasn't for someone else. Like, I would never get a Netflix subscription for myself. I did. I used to. I used to be a lot more into watching things. But what am I doing? I do need to stop by. Oh, I do need to stop by Ty's today. I don't know if we're gonna have much of a wedding. I don't know. There's still a lot we need to, like, really discuss or anything. But we're not too well off of people, and I don't think we have very many people who would come to a wedding if we had it. So, we're probably just gonna do a little something, the two of us. I'm sure we'll have some kind of cake. He's obsessed with cake and sweets. This is not a good thing at all, but he eats... Yay, Gold Hammer! He eats sweets for breakfast and sweets for dinner. He only eats real food for lunch. He usually eats cookies for breakfast. Sometimes he'll eat, like, cupcakes and cake and donuts and stuff too. Usually cookies, though. But if he has other stuff, he'll usually eat that alongside the cookies. But definitely cookies every morning for breakfast. Like, lots of cookies and lots of coffee. And for dinner, he usually has some kind of cake or pie or something like that. Like, he just eats so much, like, sweets. And the only time he really eats, like, a real food is, like, for lunch. And, yeah, it's not healthy. But that's what he does. So I'm just sure he would want to have some kind of cake thing and special cake and all that. And my mom is a pastry chef and makes wedding cakes and kinds of specialty cakes and stuff like that. So I'm sure she would be willing to make some kind of thing as long as we for a very nice discount or something. Yeah, we don't have cable TV. My dad has cable TV and Netflix and Hulu and all this crap. But my mate and I, we have just Netflix, and it's pretty much he uses the Netflix. I watch Star Trek on it because it's convenient. I could watch the DVDs. And the same with Buffy. Like, I have Buffy DVD box set thing, but I'd watch it on Netflix because it's easier than getting out the DVDs. But if he didn't have Netflix, I wouldn't use this. Just because I don't watch things, so it's no big deal to me. I didn't make a mayonnaise today, did I? I don't like cake either. I think I would have cake for the fun of cake, you know what I mean? I don't like pie. I really don't like a lot of sweets. I mean, I like cake sometimes, but I'm not much of a cake person. I like cheesecake. That's not really cake, that's like a pie, but I like lemon meringue pie. I like coconut cream pie. I like key lime pie. That's about it. I don't even need the meringue and lemon meringue pie. Just lemon pie, that's fine. I'd rather just eat lemons. But, I didn't. It would, as awesome as it would be, I don't think Blue Feather would be too significant to him. And I think I would rather have the cake be focused on him more than me. Maybe we could have a little Blue Feather something. Although, that would be really cool. I always said even since Harvest Moon 64, I was always like, oh, I'm not gonna marry someone unless they propose a Blue Feather. That didn't happen, but I don't think he even knows what Blue Feather is. He doesn't know too much about Harvest Moon. Other than that, you farm in it and I like it. I've probably told him about Blue Feather at some point, but he has a very poor memory of those kinds of things. He doesn't have a great memory in general. So he probably doesn't remember. And I like kind of a lot of things, and it's hard for him to keep them straight. He just has kind of general ideas of stuff. But he's not much into games, so I think that's why. Because, you know, I played tons and tons of games. And, whoa, eager for a prince, Lila. I think that he doesn't really know them, you know, so it's really confusing for him to try and keep them all straight. He plays Pokemon, and he plays Dragon Quest, and that's it. Like, not one other game. I've tried to introduce him to various games, but he's really, really picky about them. Why did I just leave Howard out in the square? Yeah, this is probably gonna be my last day. I think I've been doing like nothing and not really getting around and talking to everyone. I've just been kind of like giving gifts to the people who I think should get the gifts, but like not spending a day to make sure I talk to everyone. So I hope people don't like. Howard is like the most abused animal. So I hope people don't start moving out.
Yeah.
I got my gold hammer. And there's Sparrow. I wish I remembered if Sparrow liked weeds. I would give him a weed if I knew it liked it, but I know I remember like thinking Duck was the one that liked weeds and giving it a weed and then I got mad, so I don't want to risk it. But I know one of the like wild animals likes weeds. Yeah, I know I just have to talk to them, but I haven't even been making sure to talk to them. That's my problem. Oh, 30 days. I used to go every other day. I should be okay with 30 days.
Hi.
Man, that was one thing I really could not stand about, like, Island of Happiness, is you had to devote your entire life to talking to people every day. Like, you couldn't do anything, so that's all you did was talk to people. And, like, I just got so tired of it. Because they wouldn't take your gifts if you didn't talk to them for, like, the past 5 days, and, like, you're just, ugh. It was too much. But I think I did even end up getting married in that game, which is a lot considering how frustrating I found a lot of things to be in that game.
Yeah.
You're still young, and that's great when you're the head of a household. That's what he says. And I don't care about no bunny. I want Sparrow or Cat. I wonder if either of them has, like, leveled up yet. No. Cat is... Whoa! Rabbit is 3 now. Maybe I should start giving it the weeds if I run... Oh, Sparrow is 4! I gotta be getting that note soon. I thought it was at 3 hearts. Is it at, like, 5? Why do you have to befriend it so much? Or did I get that note and just forgot? Yeah, Island of Happiness was really frustrating. Like, I'm fine if people stop liking you if you ignore them for a long time, but the fact that these, like, casual friendships between you, young guy, and, like, old man shop owner who lives on the other side of town, like, the fact that he's so needy that he needs to talk to you every single day, like, this is not realistic or fun. I loved the crop system in Island of Happiness. I know a lot of people complained about it, but personally I really liked it. Because it was complex and strategic and made you think. And you guys know how I feel about that. It wasn't just tedium. It wasn't just water every day. You had to pay attention to the weather, and you had to, like, make decisions based on the weather, like, and try and get the best. Like, your crops are gonna grow up fine if you just take care of them like you always would have in Harvest Moon. You'll get a decent crop. It's fine. But if you really want to try and go for, like, the absolute best, you really had to put a lot of effort into it. And I thought that was really cool. And I think most people just want to go, hey, if I watered every day, I should get the best level crop no matter what. And, like, that's not what I like, but I understand why other people, especially when they're used to that in Harvest Moon, to be really turned off by the way that the game did to it. So I understand people not liking that, but I really liked that. And I do like the crops in the Lost Valley, other than the fact that nobody has any freaking idea how to get these, like, hybrid crops and stuff or whatever. Like, other than that, like, Like, I really love the crop system in the Lost Valley. I love the animal system in the Lost Valley. I like a lot of stuff about the Lost Valley, other than that you have to play a Year of Winter before you can even really play the game. I mean, you can play the game to an extent, but I feel like you're missing out on the real experience until you finish that Year of Winter, and that is just killing my enjoyment of the game. But once I get past that, I think it's going to be a really, really awesome game. But I can play like one or two games, like, or 1 or 2 days, like a week of that game before getting like tired of it. Like, I'm just like, okay, I don't want to play anymore. And that's my biggest problem with Lost Valley. But I think Lost Valley was a great effort, and I think that a lot of the concepts in the game are really awesome. And I really hope that Natsume decides to continue making Harvest Moon games, because I think if they go in the direction they're going and learn from what people complained about from this game, they're going to make some really, really cool games that are really innovative and unlike any Harvest Moons we've seen before. And I am really excited about that. Because the Lost Valley is that. You know, it's just this is the first step, and I think it was a really cool idea. There's a lot of concepts in there. It's just that Year of Winter. Like, that's my only complaint about Lost Valley. Like, the not being able to figure out the crops thing. Like, it's not a complaint I have right now. Like, I don't know. I don't mind that. I definitely understand why it bothers other people, though. Where's a fishy? I want a fishy. But, like, I'm one of those people who are like, oh, okay, so there's, like, 7 billion different, like, combinations I can try. I'll start with number 1. You know, like, and I'm like, okay, I'll just keep doing it, and if I don't find them all, I don't find them all. Like, I'm fine with that. But I understand why other people aren't. I'm like a casual completionist where I will try to complete everything if I can, but if I don't care. Like, if something ends up being too hard or too complicated or whatever, it's cool. Yeah, I'm fine with crops being like this, but I would really prefer more complex systems when it comes to that kind of stuff. And that's something I really like about Lost Valley is the crops, like the complexity you have to the crops. That it's not just grow it here. You know, there's so many different. Okay. I don't know the word that I'm trying to say, but there's so many different factors that go into how your crop's going to turn out. That I really like stuff like that, where you have to consider lots of factors when making choices, and so that's why I really like the crops in the Lost Valley, and I really like the crops in Island of Happiness, and I really like the animals in, like, especially the animal traits and breeding in Lost Valley, because you have to kind of like pay attention to how you care for the animal and like how you're gonna breed it and stuff. I like that. I like breeding in Pokemon, like, because you have to consider all these factors, even though you eventually, like, it boils down to following a formula to get what you want. But I don't know. I like considering lots of factors in what I do. But I think I like the not the breeding. So I do like doing the breeding. Not so much the tedium of it, but I like the, I guess, building, like planning what moves and stats you want your Pokemon to have in the end, and then building it up to that. Like, I like that because there's so many different factors you can consider, and so many different moves you can have on your Pokemon, that kind of stuff. You know, and I like RPGs where your characters will grow differently depending on the choices you make, where you actually have to build them and your decisions matter to some extent. Even if, no matter how you build them, you're still going to win the game, so they don't matter in that sense. Like, as long as they feel different. Like, I feel like I'm making important choices. Whereas in games like most Final Fantasy games, whether I'm playing it or my brother's playing it or my friend's playing it, our level 99 characters are going to be pretty much the exact same as each other. Whereas my level 100 Pokemon will be really different from my brother's level 100 Pokemon, even if it's the same Pokemon. Like, because we chose to raise it differently. And, like, I like that kind of thing. And that's why I really love the Saga games, because there's so many choices and ways you can build your characters. Um, Even when the characters are kind of set in their own certain types of ways, you can still build them against that, and they will become at least decent enough at what they're doing. Yeah. I think I still haven't gotten past that Year of Winter. And I really liked the idea before I played Lost Valley, like before it came out. And I heard that you were actually going to start in winter and have to unlock the seasons and everything. And the reasoning behind it and everything, I thought that was really cool. But I thought it was going to be like, I could go at my own pace and like really push to do it as fast as I can and unlock all the seasons in like 3 weeks or something. And like it was not like that. Um, and I think people here always complain about the month-long tutorial and a new beginning. Well, I think it depends on the focus of the RPG. Like, I was recently having a discussion with my friends on Facebook, um, because there tends to be a clear divide. Like, people tend to, when it comes to Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2, people will like one a lot more than the other. It's usually not that they like them both around the same. Even if they do like both of them, like I love both of them, but I like Final Fantasy X-2 a lot more. And it's because it's a game about choices and this kind of more non-linear dynamic story and stuff like that. Um, and you really have to consider how you build your characters, even once you unlock all of the dress spheres and all of the abilities and fully level up the dress spheres for all three of your girls, you still have to consider you have the different garment grids to choose between, and those have limited slots for which dress spheres you can bring into battle, and how you put them on your garment grid makes a difference. Everything you have to use thought and make choices in building your battle party, whereas in Final Fantasy X, you pretty much just level everyone up and then you win. Like, there's not really much choice. Everyone moves along the sphere grid in pretty much the same way. You can make choices that make it different with a lot of work, but it's not really a core element to the gameplay. You're really not supposed to be doing that unless you really, really want to go outside of what you're supposed to be doing. And so, but Final Fantasy X is about a cinematic linear story experience, and some people really, really want to experience that. Um, and I do like that part of Final Fantasy X. When I play Final Fantasy X, I'm playing it because I want to see that story again. And I want to like unravel it the way I did the first time and, really walk through it and everything. But when I'm playing Final Fantasy X too, I do like the story and discovering Spira in this kind of like non-linear way. But I play that game because I want to build my characters and fight the battles and everything because they're actually interesting, and that's why I play Unlimited Saga, because I want to build the characters and go on the adventures and do that kind of stuff because the gameplay is fun. And I think there are RPGs that are really focused on gameplay like that, and it's about the making the choices and doing those kinds of different things. And I think there are RPGs that are focused on telling a story in a cinematic way, and I think that's totally cool if there are games like that. If your RPG is literally just walk a few steps and see a cutscene until the game's over, that's fine because people can enjoy that experience. And I think if people are playing your game and having fun and being happy, then that's a good game, whether I like that or not. But I do like those kinds of. Is it back? I don't know how much I have been like blathering before it went out, but I was pretty much repeating myself for a while there anyway. But yeah, Harvest Moon tutorials generally not welcome. I think Harvest Moon is pretty easy to figure out. I think if there are certain aspects about the gameplay they want us to know about, it would be perfectly fine to have like the books in this game or have characters mention it, and that's pretty much what Lost Valley does. I don't feel like it has a year-long tutorial. I feel like it has a year-long nothing. I don't know what to call it. Like a year-long introductory segment. Like I don't know, the easy level before you get to the real challenges of the game, and like a game. No, because it's not so much a tutorial, because it's not teaching you how to play the game. You learn how to play the game, but it's introducing features to you slowly over time instead of just letting you experience the full game right away. Um, and kind of locking you out of all the content until you play through this whole year, and then you can really experience it all the way it was meant to be experienced. And like that's just like but I'm considering, because I like play it so little anymore, that I'm considering starting over and just kind of like rushing through the story and just sleeping every day except to do what I need to do for the story until I get to that second year, and then really starting to play from there. But I don't know. Because I do kind of like the idea that you can spend all that time that you have to do pretty much nothing, like terraforming and really building up the valley to be what you want it to be. But because you can't get the axe until like fall and stuff like that, like you can't cut like half the trees, so you can't terraform like half of the valley anyway and stuff like that. Like, and yeah, the way I did all my terraforming, I did so much work, excuse me, and then realized I feel like I'm about to get hiccups, but it's just kind of like starting to come on and then not. But like, then I realized I didn't want it like that at all, and it would be so hard to like undo it. And I like totally got rid of all the water. I mean, there's a place where the water always is. Like, it's just like I screwed up my game, and the game is just kind of tedious for so long. But there are so many cool concepts in the game. Terraforming is pretty cool. Like, I like the terraforming. It's not really as confusing as it sounds. It can be frustrating. It's not that the systems were poorly built or anything. It's just that, like, the controls are not bad. It's just that because things have to piece together a certain way, you have to really puzzle out in your head how you want to build it, which is really how you build things, like, in real life. You can't just go, I want to make a Ferris wheel. I'll just put things together until it goes in a circle. No, you really have to plan it out and make sure it's actually going to work. You can't just start shoving parts together and hope it makes a Ferris wheel. I don't know why I chose a Ferris wheel as an example, but, so you really do have to do some planning and thinking to get it to look the way you want it to do. It's not trial and error. No, 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 no. It's like, like, let's say you want to build this kind of stairs or something like that, but you have to like, oh, okay, so you're just kind of like behind. Yeah, you just have to think through it. Like, I'm going to need to be able to stand here and put this dirt here, but I don't actually want a platform here, but I need to make sure it's there when I'm putting that dirt down. Like, if you want something really high up, you can't just fly and put it there. You have to build up there and then put it there and then dig away at what you've built and everything, which is fine by me. I really like that. But for people who just want it to look like what they want, I can understand why it's really frustrating for them. Because you don't just, it's not where like you just take a mouse or a cursor and go, okay, I'm going to raise this land here, raise this here. You have to actually move your character over and dig the land and raise the land and dig the water and stuff like that. So, if you want to make this waterfall go from here to here, you have to make sure all the land around it is going to make that happen. And if you don't plan it properly, it's not going to do what you want it to do. Um, but if you understand how it works and you're good at playing those kinds of things out, it's no problem whatsoever. But sometimes you want to do something, but you have to do so much work to get it that way that it, like, the planning, you would really have to sit and maybe, like, write it down or something. Like, draw up diagrams and, like, plan out all your steps or something to do it. At a point, it becomes, like, less fun and more work. And some people really, really like that, you know, um, because that kind of work is fun to them. And it's usually pretty fun to me. I like planning things out and building stuff. That's why I like programming and drawing and doing those kinds of things, because that's pretty much what you do, is you make really complex plans and then see them through step by step. So it doesn't bother me too much, the terraforming, but sometimes I just want it to be the way I want it to be and don't have not without having to do all that. Um, like I want the instant gratification, which is, I feel that way about anything too, like, sometimes when I'm drawing, there are some really tedious parts, like, especially in coloring, putting down all the base colors and stuff before I color something, if I'm doing like a digital art, is so tedious to me and I hate doing it. Like, I just want them all to go on, like, just the colors just appear there so I can move on, but I realize this is a necessary step or else I'm never going to have color, so it's that kind of thing, so if you really like it, you'll go through it, but not everybody likes that, so I understand why they have a frustration, and they'd rather it be kind of like Sims, or something like that, where you can just raise it and lower it with like a cursor or something like that. And I think maybe that's what people were expecting, even though there would be no reason to expect that based on trailers and stuff like that, because it was pretty clear it was your character doing it if you really like watched all the trailers and stuff. But I guess maybe, people just heard there was terraforming and then never really looked too much into it and then got the game and they're like, what is this? But I don't know. That's not really so much a problem with the game. It's just, some people like that kind of thing and some people don't. And, but I think the system to do it is not programmed poorly or anything like that. It's a very logical, and the system works really well for what it is. It's just, it's a lot of work, you know. Um, but I don't think they could have done it better, because I think it's done as well as it could do, for the most part. Like, maybe a little here and there, some little extra touches would have made it nicer, but I'm totally fine with the way it is right now. Yes, Mouse OP. I haven't played Sims in so long, but I don't know. Lost Valley is kind of a game that I don't like it yet, but I want to like it because there are so many great concepts in it. But there are things like holding me back from realizing those. Like, it's like Mega Man X7 or even Unlimited Saga. Those are two of my really favorite games of all time, because there are really cool ideas and cool systems buried in those games, but they are buried under some severe flaws that make it hard to appreciate those. And that's how I feel about Lost Valley, is that there's a really, really cool game in there buried under this eternal winter thing. And once you can get past that, then you can really love it. Like Mega Man X7, you have to get past this really bad collision detection and kind of iffy controls. And once you kind of learn how it works, I mean, it's messed up. Like, this game is really, like, crappy. Like, the collision detection is awful, and, like, your character will glitch out and stuff a lot, and, like, the controls are not so great, so it will do things you're really not expecting it to do. But once you kind of learn how those things work and learn how to work around them yourself as a player, then there's a really cool game buried underneath that. And Unlimited Saga is just really convoluted and has all of these like arbitrary systems with no explanation whatsoever, that the game is like nearly impossible to understand without getting some kind of outside help, like buying an official strategy guide or like talking to someone who's figured out the game. It took me 2 years to learn how to play that game. Like 2 years of trying to learn how to play that game before I really even understood how to like play, like get through a quest. Like, that's bad. That is not good game design whatsoever. But once I got over that and learned how to get through all the confusing stuff and really understood all the systems, that game is so fun and it is my favorite game. And I feel like that's what Lost Valley is going to be. That there is this barrier that is causing me not to enjoy it now, but once I can get past that, it will be really awesome. And unlike Mega Man X7, where I still have to deal with the controls, once you get past this Eternal Winter, it's over. If I want to play another file, then I'm screwed because I have to do it again. But, you know, like on Limited Saga, once I understand the systems, I don't have to worry about it ever again because I already know. I already know the systems. So I can play that game as much as I want and have an awesome time with it. And as long as I'm playing on one file, once I get past Winter, I'll be able to play Lost Valley and love it. I'm pretty confident I'm going to love that game once I get past that part. But, you know, I'm working on Rogue Nightmare development. I do these streams. I do some other stuff. You know, I do art. I've had art commissions recently that I've actually had to be doing, and I do my own art for myself. That I haven't actually done that in a while, except for just now I started one and stuff like that. So I just haven't really felt like playing my games. I still haven't finished Pokemon Alpha Sapphire or whatever. Yeah, I do feel like Lost Valley is going to be one of my favorite games once I get to the point it can be. And yeah, Unlimited Saga is really confusing. Whenever I try to like explain Unlimited Saga 2, I realize like I'm just like, oh my gosh, what I'm saying right now like barely even makes sense like when I'm saying it. And like, you're pretty good at reasoning them out and like just comparing them to something else. I'm like, yeah, it's a good enough comparison. But yeah, it's unnecessarily confusing. But I've been sitting here listening to these like owls forever. Wow, look, it's the same time in the game as it is in real life. In 1 minute it will be at least. It's 11:12 p.m. It's 11:11 p.m. right now. But I've done a lot of sitting here and talking and rambling on at the end of this, but I'm pretty tired now and I'm really thirsty and I still have like 3/4 of a cup of tea, so I think I'm going to drink a little bit of this and turn this into iced tea because it's not hot anymore, and this makes a really good iced tea. It's a Keeman, so I love Keeman. I'm already excited. I just like breathed it in. I'm choking a lot today, but I didn't cough. I'm actually holding it back right now. I really want to cough. But anyway, I think I'm going to head out. My voice is getting kind of tired. I'm really tired. It was really awesome talking to you. I don't know if anyone else is here, but it was cool talking to you guys too. Thanks for coming. And if you do come to Unlimited Saga, we're going to be doing cool things from here on out. So, that's it. Have a good night, everybody. And thanks for going again. So, Metapod out. Ooh, and next week is Horse Race. Metapod out.